आज वीडियो
स्वागत
और
है।
आज जो वीडियो हम लेकर आए उसका टाइटल है
फर्स्ट एलियन ह्यूमन हेड ट्रांसप्लांट, शिवा, पार्वती, गणपति।
तो चलिए देख लेते हैं ये वीडियो, लेकिन इससे पहले
इस वीडियो के चैनल का विजुअल लिंक आपको मेरी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब करिए, लाइक करिए, शेयर को फॉलो करेंगे इस चैनल को। उसके अलावा मैं लोकेशन का लिंक भी हमारी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब करिए, लाइक करिए, शेयर को फॉलो करें।
चलिए देख लेते हैं ये वीडियो।
Ganesh Chaturthi means not to boost your belly, but to boost your brain, because he's known for his brain, not for his belly. She said, you have to bring him back to life.
ये स्टोरी तो
I
मैं
said,
बता
that's not possible. He's decapitated, he's finished. I don't care what has happened, I want him back to life. Now if he wants to have his wife, he has to bring this boy back to life. So he looked around, the Ganas, they were all there, kiki, 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 like this. So he looked around and the leader of the Ganas, he asked him, what? He said, okay. So he lopped off his head and put it on the boy's head. First head transplant. So now the boy had human body and a Gana's head. The two chief of the Gana's head, and he had a limb which was boneless limb.
यार ये वीडियो बहुत खूबसूरत है।
There is a festival in the months of August and September in India. It's called Ganesh Chaturthi. It is a god with an elephant face. It was not supposed to be an elephant, it was supposed to be a Ghana. Somewhere one artist made a mistake and it became an elephant. It's called Ganapathi, that means the chief of Ghanas.
गाना मतलब क्या होता है?
So, they will make an image of Ganesh with clay, unburnt. And then they will paint him up nicely. Some people do without paint, some people will do with paint. And then they will worship him, and huge music festivals happening around him. Big events, some people build huge ones, 108 feet tall, big ones. But after that period is over, usually 1 week, 15 days, in different places, different times, then they will go and drown it in the lake or in the ocean, so that God dissolves. Create a God, create a frenzy around him, make him your entire life. For those 15 days or 1 month, there's nothing else but Ganesh. We eat what he eats, we only like what he likes, everything is about him. But then, one day we'll dissolve him. Once he's dissolved, he's done. It's the only culture which is still conscious that God is our making. Whenever Shiva is a bit of a vagabond householder, he goes away. So his wife, Parvathi, instead of staying in Kailash, she comes down here because that's all iced up. She comes down here, at least there's cold water. So she lives here largely. So more time was spent here than there, so many things happened here. One of the things that happened was Ganapathi was born here. So he's not elephant-headed, he's Ganapathi. Gana means the Ganas who were Shiva's companions. Generally, they are described as distorted and demented human beings, or beings, not human beings. They did not have human form, they had strange forms. And they had limbs which did not have bones, boneless limbs they had. And they spoke in a language which nobody could decipher. They spoke like cacophony. And they seemed to be always inebriated, or at least they behaved like that. So they were called Ganas, and they were the permanent companions of Shiva, all the time with him. Others came and went, but they were always there. So once he went away, and after 11, 12 years, he came back. Parvati sitting here on the banks of this lake. I want you to imagine, you're the just only woman sitting on the banks of Manasarovar lake, nothing here. She wants to have a baby. She's unable to have a baby because Shiva's seed is not human. So, it's clear that she cannot have a baby with him. But when she's alone, when she's with him, she's fine. When he's gone for long periods, her maternal instincts took over, she wants to have a baby. So one day, she smeared herself with sandal paste head to toe, waited for a period of time, then slowly peeled off all the sandal paste. When you do this, a certain amount of your skin or your cells will come away. Making use of this, using her tantric power, she made the shape of a baby and breathed life into it. A nice little boy came and she was very happy in the company of this boy, and he grew up, just the two of them, nobody. And Shiva lands up from somewhere, nobody knows where he goes. Him and his friends land up, well, all inebriated and happy, come to see his wife. He's that kind. And Parvati wants to have bath. So she set up a small barrier and asked the boy to watch out, that nobody comes this way. So the boy took this duty as he's very proud to guard his mother. So with a spear in his hand, he's walking up and down. He's looking for trouble. He wants to. Somebody should come now and he must fend them off. He desperately wants to do something for his mother. He's in that state. And Shiva and his friends landed up. So he wants to see his wife, he's coming that way. And the boy stopped him and questioned him, "Who are you?" Shiva, "You are asking me, who are you?" With a flick of his sword, he took off the boy's head and went to see Parvati. He was very happy to see his wife after 12 years. But the wife saw blood on his sword and she screamed. And he got the works. Then he doesn't know what to do. He thought after 12 years he'll get a great welcome. Here she is freaking on him. She said, "You have to bring him back to life." He said, "That's not possible, he's decapitated, he's finished. I don't care what has happened, I want him back to life." Now if he wants to have his wife, he has to bring this boy back to life. So he looked around, the Ganas, they were all there, kiki, 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 like this. So he looked around and the leader of the Ganas, he asked him, "What?" He said, "Okay." So he lopped off his head and put it on the boy's head. First head transplant. So now the boy had human body and a Gana's head, the two chief of the Gana's head, and he had a limb which was boneless limb. So he became a Ganapathi, the chief of the Ganas. Somewhere down the line, artists from Sivakasi in Tamil Nadu, because they had never seen a Gana but the place was full of elephants. A boneless limb means they could not imagine beyond an elephant. So they slowly made that into an elephant. Whatever they do even today, everybody calls it only Ganapathi. Nobody calls him Gajapati. Okay? Some people have started writing songs these days calling him Gajapati, but it doesn't stick. Ganesh, Ganapathi is what sticks because he is Ganesh, he is Ganapati. He is the king or the leader or the chief of Ganas. Because he got a head which was not human, he was supremely brilliant. Because of this extreme sense of intelligence, he did not allow anything to be an obstacle in his life. Every obstacle in life can be cleared if you have the needed intelligence, isn't it? So this is what he proved. So we called him Vigneshwara, he removed all the vignas because his intelligence is of that level. He is the symbol of intellectual activity because he wrote great scriptures and the sage who dictated the scriptures to him. The challenge for him, Ganesh, was he should not pause in the dictation. He must continuously speak and he will continuously write. He said, if you pause, I won't write further. It's a test for the sage whether what he's speaking is really a fountainhead of his being, or is it something scholarly that he makes up in his head. So Ganesh said, only uninterrupted dictation, if you do, I will write. If you pause somewhere, once I keep my pen down, I will not write again. So sage Vyasa spoke uninterrupted. It went on for months on end. Ganesh wrote without missing a single word, the best stenographer you can have. He is the symbol of human intellect. This is very symbolically right, because this is the nature of your intellect. You can use it to consciously imagine something. Wonderful imagination. A man with an elephant head. An elephant head because that's the biggest head you can find on the planet. That means lots of brain. So, the symbol of human intellect, dissolving him is the symbol that if you use your intellect right, you can dissolve the world. Dissolving the activity of your intellect is no problem. Once you dissolve the world with your imagination, switching off the imagination is not a big problem. You can obliterate the universe with your imagination. In your experience, universe will not exist if you create a powerful imagination. But then, switching off the imagination is a much simpler process. If the imagination is consciously developed, turning it off is easy. Right now, bits and pieces of imagination happening unconsciously, it looks like it's impossible to stop it. Ganesh Chaturthi means not to boost your belly, but to boost your brain, because he's known for his brain, not for his belly. But today, to our children we have made it clear, he's known for his big belly, not for his big brain. He was essentially known for his big brain. So, Ganesh Chaturthi should be about boosting the brain, not the belly, isn't it? The most important thing is, Ganapathi as an idol must be made in natural and organic content. Soil or some millet flour or turmeric, these are the different ways to do it. You are not supposed to do him in plastic because he will not dissolve. You are not supposed to burn the idol and make it like a pot and it will not dissolve. Nor are you supposed to paint plastic-coated paints on it, and it will not dissolve and pollute the water and cause harm to yourself and to everybody else around you. The most important aspect is we must understand you have been given a liberty to create a god and then to dissolve a god. This is a great privilege that no other culture allows you. Please use this privilege responsibly. Please use only organic dissolvable material like soil, rice flour, millet flour or turmeric are usually the material that's always been used, and they will look very beautiful. If you think you must have some little color, please use vegetable dyes which will make your Ganapathi very aesthetically attractive and also environmentally friendly. This is one responsibility you must fulfill. If you want this culture to live, if you want this great privilege of being able to create and dissolve a god, if you want to retain this privilege before environmental laws come and restrict you from doing fundamental cultural aspects that you are doing, it is very important right now you turn Ganapathi into an eco-friendly force. So the entire festival is symbolic of this, that we create him and you must see the festivity that happens around him. Usually he's kept in public places. In every home it'll be kept, private ones. Apart from that, on the streets, big ones, many streets will be blocked for this 15 days to 30 days, traffic stopped, everything. He will be sitting right in the middle of the street, big celebrations, music, stuff happens around it, people live around him for this period. But when the time comes, they just go dissolve him and that's about it. He's done. Next 1 year, nobody thinks about it. If you could do this full-fledged with your imagination and your intellect, oh, this mind or this activity that we call as mind, I want you to get this clearly. Your mind is not an absolute thing. It is only a certain type of activity. No activity, no mind. Yes or no? Suppose you have no thought at all right now. Do you have a mind? Oh, I have a mind, I don't have a mind. Yes, you have, because that's a thought. If there is no thought, there is no such thing as mind, because it's a certain activity. Consciousness is capable of being here without the assistance of activity. Activity does not make consciousness. Consciousness makes activity. I mow the hand. The hand does not mow me. It's me who mows the hand. Similarly, it's me who moves the mind. It's not the other way round, but it's become the other way round. The nature of your mind has become you, isn't it?
सही बात.
All the freaky stuff that your mind does has become your quality, isn't it? Now, to reverse these roles is most important, because if you determine the nature of your mind, something wonderful could happen. If your mind determines the nature of who you are, it is an accident. Is it a terrible accident or not? That situations decide, but it's an accident.
भाई आज की इस वीडियो की बात की जाए तो दो चीज़ों का जो हमें पता था, एक जो है रामायण और महाभारत जो है जो लॉर्ड गणेश जी जो हैं उन्होंने लिखी थी, और दूसरी जो है जो उनका हेड था वो किस तरह जो है वो आया ये पता था। लेकिन हाँ, गानस के सरदार थे, ये चीज़ जो है मुझे नहीं थे मालूम,
मुझे भी नहीं आइडिया था। एक गाना
और उसके पीछे जो स्टोरी थी ना थोड़ी सी, यानी कि ये पता था कि जो सरदार यानी कि हेड किस तरह आया, लेकिन स्टोरी आज थोड़ी ज़्यादा डिटेल में हमें पता चली है।
नहीं, बहुत ज्यादा।
हाँ।
मतलब यूजुअली तुम देखो बाद में आते आते मतलब क्योंकि वो एलिफेंट की तरह मतलब जिनको वो नजर आए, मतलब एक तरह से रिजेम्बलेंस नजर आई, तो उस टाइम पर उन्होंने उसके साथ रिजेम्बल करना शुरू कर दिया। लेकिन गाना जो है वो कंपेनियन है शिव जी के। तो ये आज हमारे लिए एक नई चीज थी। दूसरा जो उनके टस्क वाली बात है, और वो भी राइट साइड के, ये हम लोगों ने कभी नोटिस नहीं किया था, और आज हम लोग जो इमेज हमारे बिल्कुल सामने हम लोग मूर्ति देख रहे हैं, तो उसमें वाकई में हम लोगों ने ये नोट किया कि जो उनका राइट टस्क है वो नहीं मतलब ऐसे टूटा हुआ बनाया गया है, और जो लेफ्ट वाला वो पूरा होता है। सो ये चीज भी मैं कहूंगी कि मतलब ओवर द टाइम देखो, मतलब इतनी
आप बहुत कुछ सीखते हैं।
लेकिन आई एम सरप्राइज्ड कि आज हमने आकर 5 सालों में ये चीज नोट किया।
लिटरली ये चीज जो है हमने कभी हालांकि देखी भी है बहुत, हम जब देखते हैं गणपति जी की मूर्ति देखते हैं तो बड़ी अच्छी लगती है, लेकिन जो है ना हमने कभी नोट ही नहीं किया कि भाई उनका एक टच जो है वो नहीं होता। वैसे काफी हैरानी हो रही है मुझे जो है आज ये बात सोच के,
पढ़ा भी था इसके बारे में,
हमने कभी ये चीज जो है वो क्यों नहीं गौर किया।
तो अगर हम इस वीडियो के क्रक्स की बात करें तो ह्यूमन इंटेलेक्ट के बारे में बात की गई है कि आप कॉन्शियस हो अपनी लाइफ में, यानी कि जब ये फेस्टिवल जैसे स्टार्ट होता है तो सिर्फ उन दिनों में ही आप उन चीज़ों को फॉलो ना करें, बल्कि इसको आपको लाइफ टाइम अपना एक मतलब उसको जिंदगी का हिस्सा बनाना चाहिए। और जिस तरीके से एक मैसेज दिया गया बीच में कि आप अपने हाथों से मूर्ति बनाते हैं, फिर उसके बाद आप जाकर उसको डिसॉल्व करते हैं, और इसमें भी कोई शक नहीं है कि सनातन धर्म में ही आपको ये चीज़ देखने को मिलती है कि और इतनी फ्रीडम और इतनी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी कि आप जिस तरीके से गॉड को इमेजिन करते हो आप उस तरह से बना सकते हो। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये आपको कहीं और नहीं नज़र आएगा। बाकी जिस तरीके से सदगुरु जी ने इसमें ये भी बताया कि किस तरीके से इको फ्रेंडली आपको मूर्तियाँ जो है वो बनानी चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर हम लोग एंशिएंट टाइम में भी देखें तो आप जब घर भी देखते हैं, गुरुद्वारे देखते हैं, मतलब मुझे मतलब गुरुद्वारे का क्योंकि मुझे एक एक्सपीरियंस रहा है, सो इस वजह से मुझे आइडिया। इनफैक्ट अगर आप बड़े बड़े किले भी देखते हो तो उसमें भी ये होता था कि आपको चूना, दाल और इन चीज़ों का इस्तेमाल किया जाता था, और अभी तक वो चीज़ें कायम हैं। सो मुझे लगता है कि वाकई में उनका मैसेज बड़ा अच्छा है कि इससे पहले के जो इन्वायरमेंट है उसके लिए फिर लॉज बन जाए और हम लोगों को अनुमति ना मिले, तो बेहतर ये कि हम लोग ही अपनी आदतें जो है वो चेंज कर लें।
बिल्कुल, लास्ट में जो मैसेज दिया गया है मैं उसे बिल्कुल एग्री करूंगा, और मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि इस बार जो है जितने भी हमारे व्यूअर्स हैं जिन्होंने जो है वो बनाई मूर्तियां गणपति जी की, तो उन्होंने जो है वो क्या क्या जो है यूज किया उसके बनाने में।
मैं पूछना चाहूंगी कि क्या अब लोग जो वो इस साइड पर आ रहे हैं, और इवन के जो पेंट को लेकर भी उन्होंने बोला कि जो वेजिटेबल्स के जो कलर होते हैं उनको यूज कर लिया जाए। सो आप जरूर बताइएगा हम लोगों को कमेंट सेक्शन में। इसके साथ मिला
लाइक, सब्सक्राइब, शेयर, गुड बाय।